It's Carb Day, and finally, it's competition time. This is the Pit Stop Challenge from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Today it is a head-to-head competition between 14 teams. The fastest pit stop advances each round until we're left with just two, and the fight for the win. The best 2 out of 3 for the final. It's not just a single stop. 150 grand in prize money, 50 grand to the winner. So this is how it's going to shake out. Graham Rahal versus Connor Daly. However, Graham Rahal has withdrawn because of his blown engine. Pato Award and Scott Dixon had a bye to the second round because of numbers, and so Daly will run. Then we have Herta and Siegel, Rasmussen and Newgarden, VK, Palou, Foster of Rossi, Power and Lundgaard. And we're about to see them go wheel to wheel in the pit stop contest. It's Herta versus Siegel.
Lights are on. It's going to be down to the reaction time. That's a huge part for the drivers. Great jump from Nolan Siegel into the box. Nice and clean for both drivers. The teams go to work.
Nolan Siegel locked up heavy and skidded short and inside, and all kinds of issues as Colton Herta dominates.
Burnout all the way to the line for Siegel, frustrated that he was so far behind. An 11.8 for Colton Herta. I know it's the first official time we've seen, but based on years past, if this is the same length to the gantry T-Bell, that's a competitive time.
It's competitive. I think the record all time is a high 10-second pit stop as we take a look at the replay here. Nolan Siegel with a brilliant job, but you see him lock up, and he is 2 feet short and probably 6 inches to the inside on the basis of that lockup, and from there, the McLaren crew really struggling to adapt.
That was smooth from the Herta crew, from a crew that we've said have struggled this year. Absolutely on their marks, on point, solid job from the guys down there at Andretti.
The lights are on.
Eyes on the lights, red to green.
A little bit of a creep from Rasmussen, but it's a dead heat coming to the box.
Quicker up on the jacks for the 2. Quicker down and away, not far off for Rasmussen, but it's going to be Newgarden across the line.
And that's the closest we've seen so far, but Newgarden with an 11.7 second stop.
That compares pretty favorably to what we just saw from Colton Herta, I think was an 11.8. So those two drivers could be matching up later as we get a great aerial view. It looks like Newgarden actually went long there, but when Team Penske needs to make up time, it's like they've got a little extra juice in their pocket and they can go into hurry-up mode. It's impressive.
Just slightly slow on the rear right for Rasmussen. Slightly slow. Huge pressure as we wait for the lights. They will go red, then green, then red. They're green now! Good start from Rossi, narrowly ahead at the stop.
A little slow on the outside front for Foster. They're both down at similar time, but it's Rossi for launch. Rossi at a 12.1. That's still a few tenths of a second slower than both Herta and Newgarden, so he advances but does not have the lane choice as he moves forward.
And it feels to me that it was Rossi just getting the power down out of the box better than Foster. That was the difference there. They left almost together. Let's get a replay here.
Watching the right front here for Louis Foster. Pretty clean getting it on, nothing wrong with the technique there. But for Alexander Rossi and his team, I mean, these are the big names that you would expect to be winning this first round. Everything pretty much smooth sailing, but you feel like everybody's just kind of getting warmed up here. You got to figure you're going to get into the low 11-second range. What do you see, James?
How long Louis Foster is. You see those red T's. That's where you're supposed to stop the wheel axles. He was a solid foot in front of that. And you just heard Ricky Davis say, I'd rather be short than long. So maybe Foster making the job a little bit harder on his guys there.
We have the red. We have green, and we go. Nice start from Lundgaard, but he slides into position. Big slide from Lundgaard. It's looking slow for Lundgaard. It's looking good for Power. And Power takes it with ease.
Nice work, boys. Nice work.
And an 11.5, fastest time we've seen today. Great effort from Will Power.
And it was all about the stop. We heard from Ricky Davis at Chip Ganassi a while ago about stopping long versus short. So Newgarden goes long, and look at Will Power. Precisely on his marks. Gives his crew a great chance to relax and do their thing. Meanwhile, for the 7, trouble a little bit on the air jack, but I think the right rear was the issue.
Yeah, a couple different issues there. I even saw the outside front of Power wasn't as fast as the outside front of the 7, but it was just enough with all the other little mistakes.
When you take a look at Newgarden from about 10 meters, 15 meters back, he hit the anchors and he just skidded. There was no control in that stop.
But it's a total guess on when you lock up if you're going to stop in time. It's really tough to pull off, especially in your first run, Danica.
I mean, these trajectories, you're not used to this sort of launch and stop, so you really are guessing on where that sliding point will end. And you know, earlier we heard Ricky say how important it was for the driver to do their job and stop on their marks, but what I've been noticing is if there's just one little hiccup with one of the tires getting it off, that seems to be really a determining factor as to whether or not they got out, because Christian got into his box the first in that run.
They turn green.
Nice.
Big wheel spin from Pato O'Ward. Connor on his marks. We heard the phrase slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. And you know what? It's quick away. Quick away. It goes away from Connor. It's going to be O'Ward by a nose.
Oh, so close.
So close.
Connor Daly nailed his marks, too. I mean, an absolutely perfect job coming to a stop. We'll have to take a look at a replay, but both teams doing an excellent job, just less than 2/10 separating things.
So you see there, both drivers in. Connor a little bit long, Pato a little bit closer. In fact, right bang on his marks. For me, I'm looking at the outside front, and Pato was already pumping his fist. He couldn't see how close Connor was behind him.
Teammate versus teammate. Dixon versus Palou. We wait for the red to illuminate on pit lane. We have red. Green light.
Slightly better launch for Palou. Both reaction time. Dixon into the box a bit slower, but there's a problem on the left front of Palou. It's a little slow. Dixon's down first.
Dixon's going to do it. Dixon's going to win.
There it
Palou
is
is out.
again. Mistakes are killing you today. Dixon did not get the good launch, but he still won because he had no problems. Solid run.
Small problem on the left front, I think, T-Bell on the 10.
Yeah, but you watch Cole Jagger come hot off the right rear for Scott Dixon. I think that made a big difference. He nailed his marks as Palou's guys had a little issue here, but you knew only one Ganassi driver was going to advance here, but watch the right rear, man. Slides in, picks up 2 hands with authority. No problem. And they dropped the car before that wheel nut was, I mean, it was just tight.
They do check that, though. That is part of the competition. The officials do go and make sure all 4 nuts are tight on the wheels. So as long as that car rolls back, I think we're clear. And it's a victory for Dixon in the 9s.
Countdown then to the lights on pit lane. It's Power versus Rossi. Penske versus ECR. We have red light. We have green light. Rossi in and on his marks, just narrowly behind Power. Oh no, a tire's gone in front of Rossi's car. Left front tire bounced in front of Rossi's car. Delayed his getaway, and all too easy in the end for Penske and Power. And what about this? O'Ward versus Newgarden. It's last year's 500 last lap, and Dixon versus Power. It is a replay of the last lap of last year's 500. How desperately would Pato love to get this win? A win McLaren has not taken since 1979 in this contest. We wait for the lights on pit lane. We have the red, we have the green!
Great jump from Newgarden off the line. Pretty even into the box. Little lockup from both drivers.
Oh, there's a delay front left for O'Ward. Newgarden's going to win it.
Newgarden one-handed coming off the line, guys. A 10.7. That is an incredible time.
That might be a record.
I'm going to take a look right now.
I mean, you watch Caitlin Brown here on that left front. Watch her rip this wheel and tire off like her life counted on it. It bounces back, but she is undeterred. Still gets the job done. That is record pace. Almost.
Right. It is Dixon versus Power. This, one of the great lineups one of the great contests. We wait for red light on pit lane. We have the red light. Now we're green. It's Penske versus Ganassi. Dixon with the slight advantage into his marks, slightly ahead.
Again, that driver's right lane seeming to have a little bit of an advantage on the launch.
No, it's close. And it's going to be Penske versus Penske.
It's an all Penske final, guys.
Well, here are the rules for the pit stop challenge. It is the best 2 of 3 pit stops. The faster pit stop in the semifinals has lane of choice, and the lanes will swap for the second run. If tied after 2, the team with the fastest second run gets that lane choice for the final round. And Newgarden had that fastest run. In fact, it's the fastest run we've ever seen in this contest. It's the 2 versus the 12. Round 1 of 3, and away they go.
Again, that left lane seems to have a little bit of a launch advantage, but the 2 into the box sooner. They're away and gone. Once again, hang loose from Newgarden single-handed as he crosses us. And there's the new track record, guys.
Both of those are a new track record. How impressive is that?
10.72 was both of them faster than we've ever seen. Now remember, we have the red light. We go green. Newgarden and Power pretty equal onto their marks. Oh, and Power gets away first. Power's going to nick him.
Oh!
And the time's going to be crucial here, guys. It's at 10.5, so close, but not fast enough to beat Newgarden, which means the 2s get lane choice for the 3rd and final round.
But that 10.5 would have run every pit stop challenge in history. It is the second quickest, but Power delivering under pressure. This will go to a round 3 final. Both teams have delivered record pace already today. Can they take it even further? We'll find out right now.
Who will be Roger Penske's 20th pit stop challenge champion? We're green. Wheel spin from both. Neatly on their marks, slightly ahead for Newgarden. And Newgarden away first, but it's going to be tight between the 2. Newgarden already with his fist bump in the air. Josef Newgarden wins with a 10.263.
The question all weekend is Josef Newgarden. Can he come from the back? Nobody's ever done it, but Danica, nobody's ever been that fast on pit lane on Carb Day.
This is why we love sports. We love sports because it breaks the norm, it breaks the records, it's exciting, it's unpredictable. We couldn't have expected what all happened so far being here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we couldn't have expected we'd see so many track records, world records here today in the pit stop challenge.
We shaved 0.6 of a second off the track record, and Josef Newgarden, the guy that gave Roger Penske his 20th Borg Warner trophy, also gave him his 20th pit stop competition victory.
And rightfully so. He congratulates his crew. $50,000 to the Team Penske #2 team.
Run it back.
Luke Mason with Josef Newgarden. He's going to shake every single one of their hands. Such a deserving award. Hugs all around. Josef, you made that look so easy, but so did your crew. $50,000 to this team.
Yeah, I mean, this is
today. We've got more track fun.
This guy is crazy on the right rear. Have you ever seen Keenan on pit lane? He's absolutely nuts how fast he gets around this car. Like, they're the unsung heroes of this race. They're risking it every time we're coming in. Cars speeding up and down here 60 miles per hour. It's not easy to do this job. They work on these cars all day, all night, and then they got to come out and perform in these moments, and they got to perform on Sunday. So it's a huge part of what we do, and I always feel so lucky to have them behind my back, and I know we're gonna crush it whenever we get into the pits. So it helps you win the Indy 500, and everything's got to be perfect, and this is a big part of it. So I love my team. Nothing's going to shake the smile from my face here at Indy. I love this place.